All right. Are we going? Are we going? Where am I? I'm lost. We will see. Here we go. We are live. Okay, we're good. They changed about everything here. And I was crawling around the ground because I had to plug in a camera, and I have a live stream with this setup up here, and all kinds of crazy stuff went down. So I had to put in my credit card to update software because I hadn't done it in a while. All right. Good times. All right, so gifting memberships is here. Now, what does that mean? That means that basically it's a feature that was on Twitch for many, many years. It's now come across to YouTube. We are in the either alpha or beta testing of it. Only a few gaming channels got it, and we've been asking for it for years. And so we have it. You can only use it on desktop, so you can donate memberships on desktop, and I believe Alexander Eagleheart. It's scroll off my screen now, of course. But I believe he donated like $500 worth. So amazing. And it was done while I was setting up, so I didn't even get to acknowledge it properly. And but my goal here is Aquarium Co-op's also going to buy $500 worth now. I was going to match 1-for-1, and we've already hit the limit of what I can do on a credit card. So we're going to do that as well. I want to explain kind of what this is all about, though, so that people know. So if you're just watching and you're not a member yet, what happens, like on the screen, you're going to see something that basically says, enable yourself to get a free membership. And when someone buys one, so instead of like super chats and that kind of stuff, and my goal has kind of always been, buy products from us, and that's how we make money. If you just want to like say thanks and give back and that kind of stuff, that's where you buy like a membership. And we never had that ability before, right? So now you might be able to buy, an underprivileged kid, or someone in another country, or just someone who's on the fence, right? And the way it works is, so it was explained to me, right? Now remember, this is all in alpha testing, so it could be buggy, there could be problems, there could be like my country's not eligible, there could be all of these things, right? The way it's supposed to work is, something pops up on the screen, you can say, hey, yeah, I would like to opt in to get free memberships, possibly. And then, I've got sound going on in the background here. Hold on, I gotta mute that. So, and then when someone buys some, like Candy just gifted some. So 10 people now just got a free membership. You get that for a month. And the goal would be here that hopefully you see the speaker we've got coming up, because we hire speakers to speak. They're professionals. And you see the discounts. You can sync up with the website, and you get a discount on the website, and you get a part of the member streams, and you get the member-only videos and all of that, right? So you get all of those things. And the way it's based, though, I want to finish that part. The way it's based is, right now, the way it's set up is the more time you spend watching Aquarium Co-op videos, so your watch time, is how it's selecting people. So if 3 people say, hey, I want to get a membership, and one person's watched 100 hours of Aquarium Co-op, someone's watched 50 hours of Aquarium Co-op, and someone's watched 1 hour of Aquarium Co-op, right? If someone was to buy, well, you can only buy 2, but let's say 2 subscriptions were bought, the 100-hour one and the 50-hour person would each get one, and not the person with 1. So Sarah Woodring says, you can also watch the previous talks. Yes, we've had lots of speakers. I think we're on like number 12 or something like that, or maybe 10 or 11. But you can watch all the previous videos and all the previous talks. We've had vets, we've had just professionals in their fields. The Shrimp King, I'm going to go see him in a couple of weeks, actually, in Europe. All of that. So all of that will be available to you. And that's kind of, I'm changing my screen here because they've made the software better, which is nice. So I can kind of focus on kind of over here a little bit. All right. No, I don't like that. Well, maybe I do like that. I'm not sure what I like yet. It's all new to me. Maybe I'll switch that back here. I want to see big chat. That's what I like. I like big chat. So anyway, yes, memberships, gifting memberships. Very few creators on the platform have it. We have it. We're lucky to have it. We're hoping to use this to grow memberships. The goal is to have this tight-knit community. There's lots of other benefits we're working on right now. I'm working with trying to set up a integration with our forum. So if you're not aware, we have a forum on the website so that when you're a member on YouTube, that will get you into a special section on the forum. Now, what we're trying to do with that forum, that special section that we have created but haven't let anybody into yet, would be the ability to trade and sell fish. We've got a lot of work to do. We've got disclaimers to put up. We've got intentions. Like, we don't want someone just to come in and set up shop. It's not, the goal of that forum wouldn't be, well, I paid my $5 and I own a fish store and I'm just going to sell there. That's not the goal. The goal is you're a breeder maybe like Dean. You're a breeder like maybe Preston. Maybe you're like me or other hobbyists. And you go, hey, I just got too many of these. Is anyone looking for some? And you guys can work it out between each other. We're not facilitating anything other than you could do that here. We're not troubleshooting. We're not going, hey, your fish is sick and we're going to help you. Hey, this person was a deadbeat. Any of those kind of things. The goal is just facilitate a place for you guys to talk, trade, and sell fish. That's the goal. Through members. Because we don't want just we want a little bit at least of a barrier to entry so that it's not just someone creates an account, sells something, rips somebody off, we ban them, they set up another account, do it again, and do it again, and do it again, right? So we need at least some barrier to do that. I'm excited to see all the new members joining, and I hope, so like, if you're in the chat right now, or you're watching after the fact, or you're listening on the podcast, everybody in here who has a snail would have joined this month, so they either got a free one or just joined, because there have been some people that joined as well, so that's, good signs. Hopefully we'll see a lot of these people turn into multiple members, and you get other benefits like when we're at Aquashella, we'll be giving out stuff, and they're, our goal, we look at it, we basically have a meeting once a month. What else can we do for members? Can we implement that yet? Is that a thing? How long do gifted memberships last? As far as I know, they last 30 days. That being said, maybe it's a calendar month or something, but as far as I know, it's 30 days. So yeah, shout out to Alex Englehart, definitely. I'm letting the chat kind of get up and what am I trying to say here? Give everybody a fair chance before I start buying a bunch, I guess. That's what I was trying to say, is I don't want it to be like, well, dang, and I was 12 minutes late and everyone's bought them all. I will be buying a bunch, so. I am going to answer some questions and things like that. I guess I should address the Corey's not streaming anymore. I made that announcement in that video fully intending to not stream anymore. I was still doing the member streams, but not these public streams. And because we finally got this option after a couple of years, I felt like, the YouTube partner manager that's been trying for this for so long, I couldn't not take advantage of this feature. So even though I'm going to leave in a couple of weeks and I got to go film and all that, I'm going to find some, find some more times to do this and hopefully find a way to make it manageable and fun and all of that. And it definitely helps with this, because what part of what was eating away at me is like, I want this smaller community where the trolls don't easily get in. It's still pretty easy to get in. You pay $5, but it's it's enough of a barrier of entry. And then I didn't want it only be a pay to play thing though, so that was always weighing on me. And this gives a way that we can at least get some people in. It does rely on all of us to kind of, if you get $20 in value out of a membership, maybe you donate that so other people can enjoy that. And hopefully we do a good enough job that people stay around and they pay it forward. If we do a terrible job, well, then, it all comes crumbling down anyway. So thank you so much, Jessica. Do I have a good way to see everyone who's bought membership so far? Let's see. Not really, no. So that's going to be my first feedback of like, if you don't see it right when it happens. In fact, so much so it doesn't even show. We have a window on the back of YouTube that says like, here's super chats and other stuff, and it's not showing there. So first feedback, you got to be really watching the chat to be able to see it. So if I miss, and that's always one of my biggest, I'm going to call it a turnoff of live streaming, invariably there's a live stream, or not a live stream, a super chat, or a member super chat, or something that I miss, and I feel terrible about it. So that's part of why I don't like doing it. Is I don't set aside time in the day. The reason I'm actually doing this is I couldn't work out in the fish room because the water's been off all day because we had a plumbing problem. So, but my goal is actually to try and do good things and not be like, oh, I let someone down, and that weighs on me pretty hard. So, all right, I'm gonna answer some questions because that's what I'm really here to do. Alex asks, do you have a way to see the backlog of gifted subs, which they're actually members, not subs, but Twitch calls them subs, and I make that mistake all the time, that haven't been distributed on the stream yet? No, there's no real do we got 20 in the queue? Have they all been given out? I don't have any of that yet. And that's part of when you're in alpha, it's not just all fun and games. Like, I gotta have meetings with these people and go, how's your experience? What'd you like? What can we do better? We'll see if we can fix that. What about this? What about that? So there is work on my end for sure. But I think it's worth it to be, on the forefront. And it's one more person I can go, where's our 3-year and our 4-year, badges for my membership crew? And they're like, well, not very many other people on the platform have that. And so that's the problem we're running into, is we are the anomaly. The NERMs, the members, the fish group here, we are such an outlier on YouTube. Like, gamers, yes, memberships, they get all that from Twitch. But as fish nerds, they're like, what is it about? Why do these people are doing this? When most other channels, when you go and you look at it, you might be like, here's a race car channel, and you're like, you have 4 members. We have over 3,000. We're like a complete anomaly. So much so that they actually invited me to fly down to LA and film a masterclass on memberships. Unfortunately, their professional film crew and everything, because they're doing some other masterclasses, it's on the day I'm flying to Germany, so I had to decline. But maybe there'll be another thing in the future we can work with actual YouTube, because Zenzo was all excited, because if we did that, we would then do a member meetup in like South California. So, which I realize if you don't live in California, like, oh, boring. But we're trying to do stuff all around. Don't worry, we're not forgetting about worldwide. I guess I could talk about that a little bit. Today, in fact, we're sending out more test shipments to Canada. Canada's the first step. It's the gateway to the rest of the world in our trial and error process here. And we believe we actually have it working now. So we're going to send a final few more tests. If all of that goes right, then we're ready to, start turning on Canada and figure out what are the next set of problems, right? There's always sets of problems we have to go through with complicated stuff like this. And but once we get that out, the hope would be if we can work out all the kinks with Canada, then it's like, oh, Mexico and Australia and the UK and, keep adding countries left and right would be the hope. And so rest assured we're trying. 800-gallon video on Steenfod Aquatics channel. That's right. So I think I linked that in the community page, but I did release a video. Well, I didn't. Bob released a video on his channel because we were working on the 800-gallon. And the question is, how do you remove occasional dead bodies from a tank that deep? Do you just leave them in as extra food? Yeah, most aquariums, I leave a dead fish. That's one of the reasons I like snails and shrimp and just bristlenose. That probably sounds morbid, but in the wild, that's what those things exist for, to eat decaying matter, even a dead fish, right? You see it a lot of times if you go there. So, but if it was like a big fish, right? Like, let's say you had a 29-gallon tank and you lost a fish that's this big. No, you wouldn't leave that in there. But let's say one neon tetra dies, like, stuff's going to polish that off in a few hours, so I don't usually spend the time to take that out. Now in the fish store or something, like, yes, you always remove bodies, and if it was a disease thing, that's way different than like one dying of old age or something like that. And really big tanks, sometimes you won't even notice if one tetra is just gone, right? If you have 1,000 of them and now you have 999, you don't really know. 5 gifted memberships from Daryl Dimer. Thank you. Daryl Dimer's been a supporter, like many of you, for many years, which has allowed us to do so many things. You know, just from even like launching our heater. This heater probably wouldn't exist without the fans. I probably would have never done it for just my retail store. We wouldn't have had the same capital without YouTube. So even though this thing's not perfect yet, the next version hopefully will be. Still fully functional and working, but things are in evolution. People, you know, forget about that sometimes. Like, this product's not absolutely perfect. And like, well, how many things have you done in your life that were perfect the first try? Probably not too many. The key here, and as I try to hold other companies accountable just like myself, is once you identify the faults, try and improve them. Can they be fixed? Is this a limitation of technology? Is this a limitation of cost? Is this a limitation? I don't want the limitation to be like work. Like, oh, that would take work to do that. Well, that's our job. We go to work and we fix things. So I don't like that to be the limitation. But if it's just, you know, oh, like our air pumps are going to be sold out for a few months, we're going to make them better. That's essentially what it comes down to is we want to make them a little bit better. They're not, nothing's wrong with them, but another manufacturer that makes our like, well, they make our heaters and they make our feeders. They said, you know, we could put this feature in there. And they go, whoa, we didn't know you could do that. And so we're going to try that. We're going to trial them. If it works out great, it'll be that. If not, we won't put that feature in. But that takes time, right? We're even testing. Do I have any laying around? That's part of why the live stream started late. I don't really. We're testing, yeah, like right here. This is an Aquariumcoop USB Type-C cable. That's why it's got the green right here. And so I tried to set up the camera using this, and I forgot that it wouldn't deliver power fast enough to this camera. That's why it kept dying on me. But I'm also using, so first iteration, people asked for a longer cord for their USB air pumps. That's what this green cord is, and it's a USB micro. And so we want to test, so I'm using that here. We're testing it like how many times can you do this before it breaks, right? That takes months to do it. We've got a bunch of people testing this kind of stuff. We saw the green. I kind of love the green, but I'm like, yeah, people aren't going to like the green. They're going to want a neutral color like black. So we kept the green tip, and we expanded it to, well, what we found out is I don't have that many devices that actually use this stuff. And so, like, I've got some more samples right here. Like first was a bunch of those, type micro USB, but I don't really plug in those and take those out all day long. Where like this one here is for an iPhone, and even then I wirelessly charge, but I can put this in my car and hopefully that'll get beat up a ton, because we know that you guys know if we put our stamp of approval, and Dean and myself and Randy and other people have tested these things, we've tried to break them as much as we can so that you guys go, yeah, that's why we paid $8 for a cable or whatever it's going to cost, because they did their testing. Even though it's not our specialty with electronics, we know that, like, oh, well, it makes sense because we have to power the thing that we do know. So are we going to get the CO2 regulator soon? Yeah, I asked about that, and it turns out that it didn't make the boat yet because we had some problems in packaging. So the example of so part of it is we try to make things so perfect, and that delays stuff, where most people be like, it'll be fine. But what happened was the weight of a regulator I'm going to use this product as an example here. The weight of the regulator in this type of plastic, the way we had it currently built, it was breaking. And so the plastic was breaking. We don't want you to go and spend $100+, open the package and be like, oh, the package is broken? That doesn't start on a good path of like, this is quality, it's meant to be this way. And so we needed more samples of more packaging. So the regulator itself is done, but even the packaging requires testing, because we got to test like, oh, when it drops and hits and shipping and things happen, will it still remain intact? And they gotta make it past our drop test, really, is what it comes down to. You can see here that this one actually got dropped too many times and did break. But, it broke on the inside here, and that's what we really don't want. It's like, if it's on the back, that's not as bad. So, what can I do if water got inside my Aquariumcoop portable water pump? I did not expect my power to go out, so they've never prepared the tube to not allow water. What can I do if aquarium portable water pump? I'm guessing portable air pump. We don't have a water pump. I mean, we have the power head, but that would get water in it. Probably not a lot of um, probably not a lot of stuff you can do about that. If you've got an electronic wet, you can let it dry. Try the rice method, but check valves. What was? Oh yeah, I asked for a sample. Um, I've got an idea to like have check valves be a little easier. So I don't want to give it away because someone will release it, and then without doing the testing, and if it works, they get all the credit. If it doesn't work, then people get angry at us. So yeah, but not a lot you can do once electronic gets wet. It's not so good. Has shipping slowed down, or is it just USPS here in Florida? My order is delayed for several days. My guess is it's USPS there, and we test all carriers and stuff like that. Our analytics show that our average order actually leaves the warehouse within 6 hours. So even if you place it Sunday night at 2 o'clock in the morning, that's an average because people that place an order, what's 145 here right now, if you place an order right now, odds are, it's not a guarantee, but odds are it will leave today our warehouse because we overstaff to make those kind of things happen. We don't guarantee it. We only guarantee it to about 11 a.m., maybe even 10 a.m. Like we'd rather under promise and over deliver than you said, and I'm waiting on meds or a heater. And so under promise, over deliver is our motto. But yes, USPS and all carriers are going through massive changes right now. Fees are going up. You might have seen that first class shipments are only delivering 4 days instead of 5 out of the week now. So that's 20% less shipment days. We don't ship anything first class right now, so that doesn't affect us at all. But we may in the future. You never know how things change for us. So we have to keep, yes, we do fish, but I have to actually learn so many things of like what's changing in logistics, what's going on here, how much growth is going on, what's Amazon doing, what are other people doing, what makes sense, and it keeps me on my toes, keeps us busy. We had to eat basically a giant fee on lights. A 4-foot light costs $15 more to ship than it did last month. So a light from here to Florida costs us $39 in shipping. Let that sink in. $39 just for the postage. That is nuts. Just a heads up, by the way, we have one of our light suppliers let us know that on the next order that comes in for them, there's going to be a 10% increase. So in probably it's towards the end of the year, I think. So probably 4 or 5 months from now, one of our lights is going to go up another 10%. That won't be on us. We're just, not great. Just on the journey of setting up 100-liter for my daughter's birthday. Awesome. That's about 25 US gallons, I believe, roughly. Already anticipating a second tank. Thanks for sharing the knowledge. Hey, hopefully she'll get into it. That's the key. We're all trying to get more people into it to justify our obsessions. Am I planning on doing any more streams on the Corey McElroy channel? Not planning to. What I've found is, one, I kind of just don't have time, and two, it ends up just getting me into trouble, whether it's like releasing trade secrets or angering some other YouTuber or whatever. And really, I'm focusing a lot of trying to balance life and work. When you like work, it's very easy for it to dominate it. And that's typically what goes on. And I'm 39 now, and I've told myself I was going to retire at 40. And I'm trying to move towards that, at least become independent where, it's not a madhouse of, well, I better film 9 videos today because I've got this release schedule and I got to go out of town and I got to do this and I got to do that. My days are structured in that, like, I had a meeting with YouTube before I did this today. Most days I live by a calendar. So tomorrow, Dean and I will be filming and working. Friday, there's, maybe a member live stream. There's maybe some other stuff. But I feel like there's another thing that gets in the way of the member live stream this week. I can't remember. But I'm also supposed to be like packing. I've got a meeting with Aquashella people Next Tuesday, they're flying in. So there's just a lot of all these little, like, oh yeah, I do a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And that adds up to a lot of little things. I don't say no enough, and I should be. What happens when the memberships turn into a monster like the YouTube channel? Well, then I quit, Ronnie. No, I've thought about that, and we don't know the answer to that either. The natural progression will be as YouTube or just the business grows, the less likely, or not the less likely, proportionally less time we'll have to be one-on-one with people. If I'm going to spend 20 minutes a day answering comments, right now you might be like, oh, I can do them all. But if we have 10 times as many members, maybe I can only do half. And that's always going to be a problem. The goal would be that there's less negativity. And I think overall there is. Someone that wants to pay $5 is more bought in, if you will, to seeing good things come out of Aquarium Co-op instead of there's lots of people that just like to troll other people. I mean, there's literal people that they would say their pastime is trolling other people on the internet. And that's, that's just, it is what it is, right? And we're just trying to keep that out because that troll has no empathy for, oh, this is an 18-year-old's first aquarium ever and their fish are dying, versus having fun with somebody else and they get the joke or they get the sarcasm. And that's just not good for business, though. If like, oh, someone's got a fish that's dying and they end up dying because of something else, and customer service is going to hear about that, any of that. So, any chance of a video on my Magic the Gathering collection? I think I only have one deck at this point. I threaten to get back in all the time, but I don't have a good local card shop to play. But that has been one of my things. Like, if I could start playing that again, maybe I would get a balance back in my life. But yep, I haven't taken that step ahead. I need more co-op videos. Yeah, me. Well, not me too, but I've made 1,300. Let that sink in. 1,300 videos at an average length of at least 10 minutes, right? And so, what is that math? I wonder what that math is of how many hours. Because if you think about that like a TV show or something, right? 10 minutes times 1,300 divided by, let's say 30 minutes. Well, 21 minutes because they put commercials in, but let's do 30-minute like Netflix episodes. I've made 433 episodes. So, if there's 8 a season, let's say there's 8 episodes a season divided by 8, like we're on season 55. So we're still making more videos. There's also the More Aquarium Co-op channel. So check that out if you haven't. We're releasing more videos out there. We're also releasing videos on Facebook. And they're not just the same, by the way. There is overlap, but we actually have Lizzie dedicated making videos for Facebook and the More channel. We have Zenzo dedicated making videos on the More channel, and Irene. So we're trying to put out more, but just know that there's only so much creative juice in anyone's mind, and it takes X amount to make a video. It takes X amount to go, how are we going to change a product? How are we going to design the box? All of these things. I don't do it all alone, but usually most things come across my desk, so to speak, and I got to go, okay, let me put my thinking cap on of how are we going to, do our spin on this? Where's the breakdown and all of that? And so I got to choose between, are we going to do this for our employees in the business? Are we going to do this video? Are we going to develop this product? Are we going to go film at this location? And so, yeah, I mean, the daily dose days, there was just less on my plate. It was like kind of go to work and be in a fish room. And now there's just all these other things. And so it would make for more like, this is how to run a business video, and much less here's aquarium related video. Ooh, Chev CW girl, 5 memberships. I like it. What are we? We're 29 minutes in. I feel like that's an ample amount. I could start buying some. Let's get some new people in the. Oh wait, it's not letting me do it here. I gotta do it on a different page. It won't let me do it on the own back end. I gotta pretend that I'm a user to do this. Let's see here. So let's see. Can I buy? Let's try it. I even brought my wallet in case I had to certify. That's right. This is my magic wallet. I love this wallet. Who makes it? Garzini. Yeah, you can put stuff in it though, and I don't know if you guys. Well, that has stuff I don't want. I don't have any money. I never carry cash, so I can't show you how magic it is. All right, let's buy 20 here. 20 subs coming. Maybe members. I mean members. It's coming. Boom. There we go. At least on my side. Nelson Gomez says, I've got 1 bristlenose, 6 cherry barbs, 4 coolie loaches, some snails and shrimp, and a heavily planted 20 with a cave network. Would this be overstocking? Aqua Advisor says it's 95%. I think Aqua Advisor, most settings that I've ever played with, is ultra conservative. To me, I feel like you could do a decent amount more, but it depends on skill level and all of that. I admire the amount of work that's gone into that and how complex and hard it is to do. And I don't envy that at all, but I do believe it's pretty it's got a lot of room for error, which is good if you're brand new to the hobby. But I feel like, and maybe they put this setting in since I played with it, so realize that I don't use this thing very often. But if there was a way to set like, oh, I'm an intermediate fish keeper, or you click the button like, oh, you do have, live plants or don't, or what, water change schedule. I feel like there's extra parameters in there that could dictate that, because a lot more could be kept there, but not everybody would be successful with that either. So my old digital timer finally died. Time to order a new one. Yes, I've been loving the Casa timers, but then also now I've been buying the cameras so I can look at the fish room and keep an eye while we're out of town, and I've got them as security cameras and that kind of stuff. So and they're pretty cheap too compared to like the ones we use at the warehouse and the store. They're much more expensive and all of that, but they work pretty much the same. So Casa's doing it right. I wish they had better supply lines, but the product is good. Compare cleanse disturbed diatom algae. I just noticed that my second treatment made my tank cloudy. I don't know that answer. I mean, I definitely have seen cloudiness before with meds, but I can't say that I've specifically noticed diatom algae doing better or worse after that treatment. So, yeah. Uh-oh. Zenzo donated 20. I need to find out a way where other channels can, I'm going to burp, hold on, can donate subs and they get a shout out. Tazawa's Tanks, you obviously know him as Zenzo. We hire his company to work for us and do a lot of the social media stuff. So a lot of it can be traced back to Zenzo, getting more videos going and scheduling. And he's the one that handles the in-person meetups, and he's buying the plane tickets, and he's scheduling and all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, thank you much, Zenzo. And if you haven't, check out his channel. It's an extension. Well, it's not an extension of Aquarium Co-op, but obviously if we're going to hire a company like that, we believe in their company, just like we believe in Irene, and we believe in Jimmy, and we believe, in a lot of the people that work here. And not everybody likes everything. Like if you're into houseplants, check out Jimmy. If you're not, don't. If you're into more fish stuff, Irene and Zenzo and Danny's Aquariums, and I know there's got to be more, and I'm like, I'm forgetting them. Zenzo. So, Alexander, how'd you buy more? Is there no limit to these things? Because I thought you bought 100 already. Let me see. 1, 2. Oh no, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and that's 600. I thought for sure. Well, thank you. Pushing the bounds. Liquid Zoo. Chipping in 5. My goal, by the way, Zenzo and I are going to try to harness this. So all you guys and gals are new. And hopefully there's going to be a little more posting, right? So if you've been a member for a long time, be like, geez, they're kind of spamming stuff. know that we want everyone to know, like, by the way, make sure you know you get this benefit for at least these 30 days. By the way, make sure you watch these talks. By the way, make sure you saw this. By the way, know that you get a 5% discount in the retail store of Twin City Guppies. Know that you get a 5% discount on our website. Know that, I know there's more stuff. You'll get free stuff when you go to Aquashella in addition to the free stuff we'll give out. You know, there's more to come too. Don't worry about that. Alexander's a beast? Definitely. Let's see. Yeah. New members, check out the video on the DIY spawning mop that Dean made. Yes, it is easy and fun, and I think anyone can do it. It's a quick, like, 3-minute video. Yeah, I would say that's a legit thing. And some people ask, like, why. Well, someone emailed or Instagram messaged Dean and was like, why do you put this behind a paywall? It's not fair. And Dean basically had to say, like, because we need to crowdsource things. So by putting it behind a paywall, if 5 people sign up to become members and they get access to the vet video and Carl Trochu, who's coming up next, and all the other videos, that helps buy the plane ticket because Dean's going to speak in Aquashella at Dallas, right? So if everything's always free, none of this happens. And so we have, it's kind of, for lack of a better term, YouTube, the way we've set it up, is kind of a pay what you feel it's worth thing. Have you ever run into that in software where you're like, you download a thing and they're like, well, pay what you think it's worth. And if I was running my whole company, maybe it's worth $1,000 to me. If you're only going to use that tool once, maybe it's worth $1. Maybe you're just testing it, it didn't work, it's worth $0, right? But we kind of take that model with the Aquarium Co-op of like, pay what it's worth, because the videos run at a negative. Like, we spend more money making videos than we get back. But the goal is you guys support us. We build a community. You guys end up buying stuff from us. That's great too. But the goal is to keep doing this, because most times in advertising, you spend money to gain customers, right? You gain your customers, you gain your customers, you gain your customers. If you do a good job keeping them, you then turn off advertising and you just make money. We are at a point where we could do that, but instead we want to keep investing with the advertising and make more videos. So, we're going to be in Holland. We're going to be in Vienna. So I'm going to the Guppy Championships again this year. So if you're in Vienna, I'll see you there. We're going to France to film a very high-end shrimp breeder. We're going to the biggest pet store in the world while we're in Europe. We're going to, there's something we're doing in Holland. I can't remember exactly. We're also going to Interzoo. And all those things, it's all money. You got to buy plane tickets. You got to pay for room and board, you got to pay for food, you got to even buy tickets to get into some of this stuff. And the goal would be to film all that and then pay, Jimmy and Zenzo and Irene and Lizzie to work their magic on all of that and put it into a format that you guys can consume. And so far, it's going pretty good. I'm just excited to get back out there and film. Where will I be in Holland? I honestly don't know. I know there's like 2 different stops, but I don't know, and I don't know the days either. Chris Luke up the Shrimp King, I basically say, we're staying with that guy for 2 weeks, and we want to do a bunch of like sightseeing for myself and the wife, but also a bunch of filming and, kind of R&R as well. So, we're trying to find a good mix and balance of all of that. And I do think I'm going to try and film some vloggy stuff, so when we go see castles and other stuff like that, you guys could be like, well, that's what they did. And then they went to the fish thing. Dean coming in with 20 gifted memberships. Dang. All right. So there you go. Dean just bought 20 people that can now watch his video. So that kind of goes to show, in my opinion, it's not all just about the money. It's about the, like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it other than, like, we also want it. So even though if we didn't need the money, lots of other creators do need that money. They make their living and they have to basically go to work, produce a video, you guys watch it, and we don't want to undermine that as well. How do you get the memberships? If you're not a member currently, you can basically click the button and it'll make you eligible, and it's based on watch time on the channel. So the more you're engaged with this channel, the more likely you're to get the next free membership. Ginny says, "Hi all, I'm excited to be part of the community. Wish I became a member before I placed my order earlier today, but I'll be ordering more goodies for the Aquarium Co-op." Yep, you just got to go on there and sync up your account. That was the video that was pre-playing before this went live. And go ahead and do that, because we're building lots of features to rely on have you synced up your account. Because it's really hard to integrate with YouTube. So once we integrate with the website, we can integrate with the website pretty easily. So that's what we're doing. So even if you don't buy from us, which, hey, that's fine, know that features that come out down the road will rely on that a bit. Not everything, because there's lots of stuff to hear on YouTube too, but just know that we're working on that stuff. It's time for me to buy some more too, because I know I got to spend what I was originally planning to. So we'll get some more new members in here. Does a membership automatically continue until I stop it, or do I have to keep on top of it? I think it depends what state you're in. There's a few states that don't allow subscriptions. If you got gifted one, they're not, as far as I know, they're not like just going to steal money out of your account. You would have to then go, hey, I would like to continue doing this. Yeah, so you do that. And then like if you signed up though, like let's say you just sign up, then that will auto bill you every month in most states until you say, hey, don't do that anymore. So yeah. As soon as I'm allowed gifts from the channel, I became a member. Watch time is OP. Yeah. Well, and so we were always trying to find, like, we know there's people that are very dedicated to the channel. They're watching lots, they're interacting, they're leaving comments, they're being good parts of the discussion, all of this. But not everyone's financial situation is in the same spot, right? And I think a lot of us in person would socially be different. Like, let's say we had a group of 12 of us and we're all going to go to eat, and you notice someone like, oh, well, I'll catch you guys later. And if you knew, like, oh, yeah, they had just lost their job last month, you'd be like, oh, come on, I got you, right? And that's the feel I want online of, we can't go, well, let's just buy 800,000 memberships, like that's millions of dollars. But we can try to help, help get the most engaged people doing the most stuff around the channel. Try to, pull them into the crowd. Go, come on, let's go get ice cream. Come on, let's do this. That's our goal. So, and you guys are all helping, which is amazing. Gift some of those Viennas. That is one of my goals. So once we get I'm paying developers right now to build basically a bridge between our forum and membership. When that bridge is built, then the for sale and trading of fish happens. And the goal is, when I do get some of these rare fish, offer up a few of them to get out there. And so people could, maybe I'll do them as an auction, or maybe I don't know if I'm allowed to do it as random, because then that might be gambling. But, maybe it's an auction, or maybe it's something else. I'm not sure how it would go, but the goal would be to share some fish for sure. Hit that like button. How often do I think how soon do I think we'll be able to ship to the UK? I don't know. If in like a real perfect world, maybe within the next 3 months. It also, like, we thought we'd be shipping potentially to Canada, 5 months ago. So the goal is hopefully that when it is going there, it's going there correctly and not riddled with problems. So we're a very cautious company in that aspect of, it's not worth making money at the expense of customer interaction. And so we want to make sure customer interaction is going to be a great experience. And then if we make money, that's good. We don't want to do it the other way around. That's, in my opinion, that's how too many companies are running now. Yeah. And it's not like, even just like, there's so many Amazon sellers that will just basically sell kind of junk. And as long as they can get it to last 31 days, they make money, because you can't return after 30 days to Amazon, right? So, the landscape has changed, and I want to be on the opposite end of that. Watching your post convinced me to jump into the hobby. I love it, and thanks for what you do. That's super interesting. I want to find a way to interview is the wrong word. Ask questions to people like that. So Space Guy, like, one day we're just like, I think I might like aquariums, or was it you're watching a completely different video and it's suggesting you happen to click on it and then you got sucked into keeping aquariums? I'm always very interested to know how does that go on, because I meet people just like you in person and I don't have time to go, but tell me more. Were you watching, an old Family Guy episode and then you clicked on it? What were you doing? How did it? Because I'm fascinated with how do we get more people that aren't aquarists into aquariums. Yes, I want everyone that's into aquarium to be an aquarium co-op, but I'm even more interested in how do I get that person walking down the street right there that is into race cars? How do we make them like aquariums? Renee says, hoping to go to Aquashella, Dallas. I said that like a weirdo. I'm a robot. This will be my first, and I'm so excited to meet others in the hobby. Any advice so I can get the most out of it? Try to be outgoing. I think that's a good thing. I personally think it's ultra nerdy, but goes a long way. If you wear a little just like a little name tag that would say like Renee, like Aquarium Co-op member, like something like that, people go, oh, I know you. I saw you in that live stream, or I see you all the time, or I see you on the forum. And that lets you kind of connect. And what I think a lot of good that comes out of that is if you see a line of 300 people waiting to kind of, get their free stuff from us and shake our hand, take a selfie, that kind of stuff, know that 90% of them are from Texas and they might be local to you, right? And so you might have someone just down the street. They might know the next best fish store. A lot of times you'd be like, ooh, I'm going to stop at this fish store I didn't know about on the way home, all of those kind of things. So, try to take advantage of that. You'll get to see Dean talk. Irene's talking as well. I think I'm going to talk to stores the night before, like before the show opens, because it's such a madhouse that by me taking an hour and a half to go talk, the line is just out of control. And so we're trying to get through, and I want to spend time with people. It's, if I need to entertain people for an hour, I can do that online with a video. In person, it's the only chance I have to meet people one-on-one and go, well, what is it that you like? What do you keep? What are you doing? And you get all these extra little stories people don't necessarily want to tell certain stories online, but you'll get them in person one-on-one. So I try to utilize that time for that. Am I going to bring any more guppies back for the championship show? I don't intend to, because it's quite a process. That being said, if something was super duper duper cool, hopefully I can schedule a way to get it shipped to us legally, like imported and everything and all of that. I don't know how yet, but that's where it's going to start. Oh, yeah, one of the places, maybe it's in Holland. One of the places, Runeman's Aquarium. They have one in Florida, but I guess like the big mothership version of it is in Europe somewhere. So I think that's one of the places we're going. Let's see. Candy's mocking me because I want to spend time with people. I just don't want to spend time with people when I'm at work. Like when I fly out somewhere, that's when I am. That's my job. But like if I run into someone at the store, I have meetings and deadlines to hit, and that's where I don't want to talk to people, because it's like I didn't build 20 minutes in to do a fan meet and greet real quick because it's like I'm actually running late to the dentist or something, right? So yeah, but most times, like in my own life, yeah, I don't want to talk to people because I unfortunately book my calendars up so so much that it's a problem. Let's be honest. Does $85 get into everything? I don't know. I'd have to look again on that. I don't know. I used to analyze the prices a lot, but now I haven't looked lately, so I don't know if $85 is 2 days plus VIP plus a shirt plus a whatever, or there's a lot of different little options, just like any show you're going to go to. Will I be stopping back in Goliad this year? Charles isn't. Hold on. As I tried to put the emergency brake on my voice, made me cough. I believe Charles is speaking somewhere else, and then he's like just coming home as Aquashell is starting, and we didn't want to make that difficult for him. And so we're planning to make another trip back to actually film at Goliad. And also, he's like, it's 4 billion degrees in August in those greenhouses. Pick a different time. And I was like, fair enough. I've been there, and the cameras were shutting down last time when we did that. So we do plan to go back, but just not in that same trip. Even though it'll end up costing more, we'd rather do it right and not be rushed. We looked at a bunch of things. How do you mark yourself for wanting a gifted membership? I think when someone donates some, you just click a button on your screen that's going to say kind of allow type of thing. I'll put some. I'll buy some more, and we'll that should let you do it. Let's see. What is this weird background, Corey? We're actually inside my house. This is my work office, I guess. You know, I use this for memberships, and I do a lot of just like Zoom type meetings and stuff like that in here. And it's a change of scenery. I can see my pond. I can see outside. I have windows, right? Like that's a window. In the studio, there's not a single window. And I realized it was starting to take a toll on me in that for like most of the winter and everything, I would go out to the studio to start work. And then it would be dark. And when I'd be done working, it would be dark. And so, because I might start work at 10 a.m. and then I might finish work around midnight. And so I realized I was going like weeks essentially with like every day I might get 10 minutes of daylight, you know, outside of artificial lighting. And there'd be days where my wife would deliver me food, right? Like, oh, here's lunch and breakfast and dinner, because I'd just be working and grinding through everything. And I literally wouldn't see light. And that's where I was like, for a guy that loves nature, I'm not getting a lot of nature in my life in here. Even though I've got aquariums behind me in that room and everything, I was kind of like, you know what? It's like my favorite thing is watching like the bald eagles hunt my koi, and the geese come around. We think they have babies right now. There's ducks that come and visit. All of that kind of stuff is happening while I'm listening about, you know, the latest report on USPS or Fluval or whatever. And I'm kind of just like, yep, we're going to do that. Yep, haven't forgot about that. Yeah, so, you know, I did have it like last week, same room, right? Same room. I just had this big blue green screen and people lost their minds. You know, and it's like, well, I had that set up for filming, you know, like I don't think people understand the amount of work that goes down to make a video. Like, well, I had to set up lights, I have to set up the backdrop, we're going to blue screen that out for a top 5 video, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Even today, before I went live, I hung up a sound deadening curtain in the stairway to get up here to help audio. You know, there's just a lot that goes into it that it's no part of that is glamorous, and it's not interesting to like really hear about. It's just you know, it's a part of it. Another 5 gifted subs from Daryl Deemer. Heck yeah. My local fish store just got approved to carry co-op products. Pretty exciting stuff. Awesome. We're learning tons about wholesale and stuff like that. Like I think, and I don't know this. I know I came up in a meeting yesterday. That's how I know about it. But like Delaware's got weird tax laws, and so we're now learning that just because we sell to a consumer there doesn't mean it's going to be easy to wholesale there. So that's just a whole nother facet of like, oh yeah, let's do some brain thinkings and learnings over there. Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why we posted we needed a supply chain program manager. Is that Randy's been doing all of this, but as we add on big facets of business, we need help in that. You know, let's say we're shipping to 15 different countries now. We need to keep track of the bouncing ball of like, well, what's shipping like going to the UK? Is that good? What about Australia, New Zealand, and all of these other countries? Is that good too? Or no, we're actually having problems with Canada Post. Okay, someone go meet with those teams and figure out how do we make that better. On top of Randy worked with me. We're developing products. We're doing the USA stuff. We're doing the wholesale program. And so someone had asked, and don't worry, Randy's not going anywhere. Instead, we're adding to Randy. How do I super chat? You can't. We don't allow super chats on this channel because they become disruptive. And what I mean by that is, if I miss one, people will lose their minds. They paid $2, and that can be a lot of money to some people. And a lot of times there's more messages than I can ever answer. I don't want to feel bad about it. So we would rather just not take your money and not be beholden to that. Yeah. You do get a member super chat after a month. So in your second month, you would get one just like Michael Henderson did here. You spoke at the start of the stream about hours watched in regards to the memberships. Is there a way to see my hours watched for your videos? I don't think so. I don't know if there's any way where you could see how many hours have I watched Aquarium Co-op or any other creator. I don't think that's a thing. On the back end of YouTube, we can see how many hours are people watching our stuff. Let me see if I could tell you guys right now. In the last in this last month, people have watched 422,000 hours of footage between all of our videos, right? That's a hard number to really put your brain around. 422,000 hours, yeah, they should do that. How many 8-hour days is that? So 422,000 hours. If you divide that by 8-hour work days, let's say, that means if you went to work and your job was to watch Aquarium Co-op videos for 8 hours, you would do that for 52,750 days. Or how many years is that? Let's pretend you work 7 days a week. 144 years straight, 8 hours a day of watching Aquarium Co-op videos would be that many. So a lot of our stuff is consumed, but over all of that, there's this section that will show up to a live stream. And so that's kind of that natural filtering process. How many viewers? So for instance, in the last month, we've had 698,000 different viewers. With 346 returning viewers, 1,000 viewers. So that's people that are watching multiple videos. Because there's people that will find us, watch one video about one thing, and then never watch us again. They just got the answer, right? Maybe it's someone that doesn't like us, or maybe they only needed one answer. Do you direct returns and exchanges back to the store where the product was purchased? Do I direct? Are you asking if you make a return to us? Do you direct returns and exchanges back to the store where the product was purchased? Oh, you mean if we sell wholesale? Yeah, if you go and you buy from Twin City Guppies and there's a problem, they are very much instructed to make that right and then take it up with us. We'll just give them a new one or whatever it is. If there's a legitimate thing going on, make it right for the customer, and then we'll make it right. Because we've got lots of data too. That's the thing that one of our benefits is if we sell, 1,000 of, let's say we sell 50,000 of these over 3 years, right? And it has a 1.2% defect rate. If we have a store that's how do you have 11% defect rate? Are you either not educating the customer? Are you some stores will just be take it back for any reason, no matter what, and that loses them money. So we can identify the outliers. We can work with a business to go, well, why is this happening? Is it education? Are they getting damaged in shipping? Is it the way you store them? What about this is why are you the outlier? And then if some store just does terrible, maybe we'd have to cut them off. I don't expect that to happen, but yeah. If I come into the store, will I still get 5% for YouTube membership? Yeah, if you go into our retail store, Carson, I feel off the top of my head, Carson Anderson, are you the Carson Anderson that helped me put in flooring in my old fish room? I feel like that's true. If that's true, and you are that person, I hope you're doing better, buddy. Dimitri Semi with 10 memberships. Round of applause. This is going to seem like I'm not clapping really. If I clap too loud, I'll just blow out your eardrums. But thanks, buddy. My mustard gas betta has Popeye, tried salt, erythromycin, Mela, and Pimafix, but it's no better and no worse. I would look into water parameter, well, not water parameter, stress and parameters in general. How hot is it? How many shadows are there? Do you have a backdrop? What's the pH? What's the waste level? Is there anyone else harassing it? We just went through, we're kind of still going through this on the forum, and so often people gloss over very important things. So, they're posting their water parameters and this and that. And it's my job to keep asking questions. And people get so frustrated, like, why are you asking all these questions? And because I know that if your water parameters are perfect and your fish isn't doing well, that doesn't add up. Like, perfect conditions for any living organism and it not doing well, that is an equation that doesn't add up. Like, it's not equal. It's off. And so you keep asking questions until you go, oh, so we found, for instance, they left their light on 24/7. They never turned the light off. But so many articles don't focus on, it's important for you to have a daytime and nighttime cycle, right? And then we found out, oh, well, they kept cleaning their white gravel because it grew a lot of algae because the light's on 24 hours a day, right? And so as you work through these things, you can start. And so we thought we might have fixed it. And now what we've actually found out is their heater that they had was leaking stray current into the tank. And that was causing this betta to have fin rot. Well, what they assumed to be fin rot, I actually think it was stress and they were biting their own tail. We're now hoping that it was the stray current and that will allow it to start healing. But on the way, we found, oh, there's no background. The water level is only at half because I heard that might help. And so it was getting beat up by the filter. We found out that the light was on 24/7. We found out that we're washing the gravel. All of these things are different stress adding factors. But if we had looked at because they tried a bunch of meds and the water parameters look pretty good. So same thing here. I would go, yeah, I don't know why all these medicines aren't fixing Popeye. It could be like, there's always like, oh, maybe it has a legitimate just tumor behind the eye. It's that 1 in a million chance, and we're using a med to fix a tumor, which wouldn't work really. Or is it there's some other thing going on here causing repeated stress over and over, and no medicine can kind of get through that. If you're not in a position where your body can kind of rest up and heal and stuff like that, all the meds in the world doesn't really, doesn't really help get it better. Yeah, so Sarah, I was asking about the customer service burden with the new wholesale initiative. Yeah, I can see where you go. Our goal would be, I personally think that a one-on-one relationship with a local store should, that's the key word, should always be better than an online interaction with our team, right? Because you're there in person, you can go, oh, well, let me see this thing. Oh, okay, hold on. Right here, this thing's the problem. Instead of us going, well, can you take a picture? Like, what else could it be? What are you forgetting to tell us? Because in person, in a store, you can see so much, right? You can see so much of like, oh, I can see what's going on. Oh, show me the picture. Oh, you got it on your phone. Okay. And you should know, like, yeah, didn't we sell you this fish a while ago? And didn't we sell you this product? And all that is because it's a one-on-one relationship there where if you only reach out to us when you have a problem, Candy's not going to know, like, well, of course you bought 13 zebra danios 2 weeks ago, and then this happened, and this happened, and this might be why, right? But your local store hopefully would know that if they're kind of a mom and pop shop, one-on-one type of interaction. Hi, from South Africa. Do you think there will ever be a leveling off in the hobby since the world is getting back to normal after COVID? Yeah, I think there's always ebbs and flows. I think that what we'll see is a bunch of hobbies that were taken up during COVID will go down. I believe that to be house plants. I believe that to be dogs, cats, birds, fish. I think we bumped it up, and now there's going to be this coming down. So let's say we picked up 1 million new people, we're probably going to lose 800,000 of them, right? But we're still better off for it. And then over time, as people, get their wiggles out and like, I traveled, I went camping, I did all the stuff, they'll come back to like, you know what? Aquarium was kind of fun. Maybe we should take that back up. And so you'll see that come back in a couple of years. But I don't think it's going to be like going off of a cliff or anything like that. I know that everything in life is kind of seasonal. And if you haven't done something for a long time, you want to. If you haven't eaten that food for a long time, you want to. If you eat that food too much, you don't want it. And if we're binging on aquariums right now, we're going to be like, oof, can't take any more right now. And then you'll be jonesing for it in, a year or two. All right. How many? I think I've only bought like 3 so far. So I better buy some more memberships because we've been live for an hour and 15 minutes. No, we've been live for an hour and 5 minutes. Hey, look at that. On my screen, at least, Tucker Smith just joined. Legit paid for it. All right, Tucker. What I like about this system is that in theory, you can win via participation, right? So whether you're a kid, whether you've lost your job, whether your money's just tight because you've got a big family, or all your money's wrapped up into a different project, like whatever it is, just by being active in the community and spending time watching the videos and all that, you'll likely be the most likely. How many times can I say likely be most likely to be rewarded? I think that's about as good of a system as they could make. You could make it completely random. I see the merits in that too, but I think I like the rewarding participation. I think that there's something to that. I don't think I would like it as much if it was like, oh, it's just whoever chats the most. Like, I feel like that encourages the wrong behavior, where watch time is a great behavior of like, you'll know more about the company, you'll know all the inside jokes. It makes sense that would be kind of one of the keys to unlock membership. Clicking that buy button. Another $108.88 with tax. Just got to the stream. Can current members be gifted a free month? I don't believe current members can, unless it says, like where it said Aquariumcoop gifted 20. If you can click the button that says get a free month or a free membership, then yes, but I don't think so. I don't think that's how it works. Yeah. So, again, this is like alpha status though. Between this and going out to everybody, maybe this might be in alpha and beta testing for the next year or a month. We don't know, but you see it change a lot of times. So what it's doing right now, it might change over time, and we'll see. How do you do a gift? You can only do it on desktop right now because they haven't launched it to mobile. They have to update, iPhone apps and Android apps and all that to make it happen. So that's why everything starts on desktop first. And then it's the button that looks like a super chat, that money sign. You click that and you should have an option to gift anywhere from 5 to 20 subscribers. Oh, HB Aquatic says, I was gifted and I'm a current member. Interesting. So maybe it is, yeah, that's kind of awesome if it works that way too. That way it truly rewards just like those spending the most time, I guess. Welcome, Tropic Fin. That's what it is, Tropic Fin. Do we sell duckweed often? In the store, we do a little bit. We used to sell a ton of it. Like I advised Twin City Guppies to sell it in their store because we couldn't keep it in stock. We were buying it pounds and pounds and pounds at a time from farms. What we find though is it doesn't ship very well. You kind of, no matter what we do on the other side, you're like, this is kind of a stinky mess, and like, ugh. It will come back, but it doesn't have that good experience, and that's where, we don't like that. Even if we warn you, like, it's going to be a stinky, cruddy mess, people go, well, I don't think it was going to be this bad, right? So we choose not to, and snails are kind of that same way. Mr. Ed's Electronics. I wonder when Mr. Ed became Electronics. I just know him as Mr. Ed with His avatar is a nightmare from Magic the Gathering, by the way. That's how I noticed him originally. Can't gift on my end. Might be on a US only feature. Could be, Danny. I don't know. Are you on desktop right now? You got to be on desktop to be able to gift. So, yeah, selling duckweed I throw away by the pound. Yeah, when you've got it, you can make a lot of it, but a lot of people are buying it to feed to African cichlids and goldfish, or just they wanted a starter culture, which it kind of seems crazy when you're into the hobby, though. You want just anything to grow, right? But we would sell tens of thousands of dollars a month in duckweed. Like, it was nuts. Aquariumcoop is the resource. Check out all their channels and their creators. Buy stuff from the .com. Well, thank you. That's our goal. Our goal is to, I mean, honestly, what I'm trying to do now is just set up a network of creators and people and all of that, so that if you're plugged in and you want to do this hobby, we're going to try to serve you the best. Do you learn well from me? Do you learn better from Irene? Would you learn aquascaping better from Lizzie? Do you want to do African cichlids and DIY? Maybe you choose Dean or Zenzo, or, our goal is you don't have to like every show that's on this channel, but hopefully you like at least one of them, right? And that's the goal. Mr. Ed switched back to computers after I recovered from long haul COVID and lost most of Mr. Ed's aquatic stock. My wife is literally flying a kite right now. She bought some kites, and we've been fighting to get some weather that has wind. And so, again, had I been in my studio, I would have never seen that. But to see her flying a kite, that's kind of awesome. So that's that like life work balance thing of like my wife is literally out there flying a kite and here I am working, right? Now I can hear her laughing out there. She's probably listening to it. I bought duckweed on purpose several months ago. Now it's my worst enemy. Yeah, that's also, I guess we should factor that in too. Like, I wonder how much regret there is when purchasing duckweed if you don't own goldfish or something like that. Speaking of aquascaping, when is Super Design scheduled for a member talk? Let me see if we have that scheduled yet. Zenzo will know if I don't. Let me see. Have we officially booked him yet? I know we've been talking with him a lot. I just don't know if we've officially booked him. A lot of these things are long in the, like, we might work with people for a year before it's like, yeah, let's nail down that date. Are you free? Are we free? So we don't officially have it out yet. The next one is Carl Trochu. He wins like every library competition. Then we have Oliver Lacanis. He does he has the book, what is it, like underwater photography? Wait, Below Water? I think it's Below Water. I'm sure I'll mention it. Then we've got Carlos Rodriguez, not well known. We've toured his fish room and stuff before, but he is like the master at at Daphnia, culturing Daphnia. So I'm always trying to learn more and more from that guy. November 19th, it's on the calendar. He's booked and it's on our website. Okay, we just don't have it up on our upcoming meetings yet. So, yep, we do have it. We do have a calendar on the website. I was going to, do we have the thumbnail and everything? Because that way I could link it. And then we've got Andy from Extreme talking about fish foods. I thought, there's a lot of people that talk a lot of stuff about fish foods. Let's at least get one accounting of what was it like to launch a fish food? What do they think is important? What do they see as best sellers? And what do they get, the feedback they get, right? What are the challenges they run into? Whatever they can teach us. And then we've got Gary Lang on collecting wild rainbows. So, that's the next 5 months basically are those talks. And we pay them $500. We send them a camera. We send them a headset to try and get the best possible video for you guys. If you've ever kind of sat in on some other stuff, sometimes audio's not that great, video's not that great. So we try to eliminate as many of those factors as we can to get a good show out. Not show, presentation, whatever you want to call it. Thank you so much to Imagine, who gifted 5 subs, and Darren. I don't even know how many subs. Let's see if they count for, like, what am I trying to say? Yeah, wow. All right, let's take a guess. In the chat, 5, yeah, so how many members do we think we've gotten in this live stream alone? That's what how many of you guys think? There's probably because there's 1,000 people here, there's probably like 4 people that have been counting the whole time, because there's just people that do that. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Sarah says, new members, you'll have the opportunity for a small group discussion with Tanner from Serpa Design in November. That's true. Like, a lot of times in those live streams, there's only like 200 or 300 of us. And that seems kind of like a lot, but a lot of people are just consuming. Like Dean, most of the time, his wife and him are always trying to do something. He's like, no, I gotta watch this. And so he'll be watching it in one ear and participating in family stuff in the other ear, right? So there's a lot of us that kind of get that way, but you can always watch it after the fact too. And usually we'll ask for questions ahead of time. Is there anything? If everyone goes, hey, we all want to know this, we'll try and get that question asked. Who's closest? 970. Yeah, it's not 970. It's not. What? Okay, yeah, I know the number. Who's closest? I think the closest one is Tim Brennan. We actually have 381 new members, so it's quite. We gained 10% membership today. This is why Twitch streamers that come over from Twitch to YouTube have been clamoring for this, because they know that people that are invested in the channel want more people. Like you know, if you've ever been trying to tell your friend, like, you gotta try this food, it's the best thing ever, like, it tastes so good, I love it, you gotta try this restaurant, you'll end up like paying for them to go to that restaurant just so you can be like, see, it's amazing, right? And we know that effect basically happens in memberships and clubs and that kind of stuff too. So yeah, it definitely, a 10% is unheard of for us. Do I know whereabouts yet in the UK you'll be visiting? I don't. The last event we were going to do got canceled, so that happened. And I don't think we have anything right now that's actually planned in the UK. So, yeah, unfortunately, it really sucks when you plan, you're going to do a thing, and then it gets canceled, because then it's like, well, I went that planning. Cardinal Tetras developed raised black and gray lumps on its gills, not affecting the other fish. Any ideas? I feel like it's probably just like some. Well, I guess it depends if it was wild caught or, was it wild caught or was it captive raised? I think if it was wild caught, maybe it's a parasite, but it's hard to, these questions. And I know it sounds like a broken record, but a decent picture, because sometimes people post pictures and it's like, potato phone quality, because they like zoom in and they get bad lighting and stuff. But if you can get a decent picture, a lot of us can go, hey, I've seen that before, and try X, Y, and Z. Where this is like, yeah, I mean, if you could catch it out, put it in another tank, quarantine, give it some salt, maybe you could fight against it. But without seeing it, it's really hard to go, oh yeah, here's the way I beat that last time. 1,000 people watching, only 600 likes? Yeah, hit that like button. It's free. I'll give you a 1/1,000,000th of a Aquarium Co-op, what a cryptocurrency coin that doesn't exist. Get on the like train. That's right. Yeah. All right, I'm buying more members because I can. Get as many people as we can here. Memberships. Powering up. Wait, will not let me? No, it is. Close one. I miss you in Florida at Aquashella. We'll probably be back next year. That's my guess. But we are 100% going to Aquashella Dallas. Highly likely going to Chicago, but we haven't bought tickets yet. And if we don't buy tickets, I don't want to promise anything yet, but it is highly likely. Yes. It's awesome to see new people get the membership because I'm just like, okay, Todd G, welcome, buddy. All right, Sorise and Vin. Because it inherently, I know I'm like, hey, these people watch our stuff a lot. All right. I'm wondering about, wait, yeah, I'm also wondering about whether there'll be a grand reopening of the store. Yeah, we're kind of thinking that the part of it is we got to make sure we actually build it out on time. So there's that. We are planning to do an event. What does that event look like right now? I don't know. We've considered doing like a is that 4 day, 3 day, maybe 4 day thing uh, over like Labor Day weekend where, maybe like one day fish are on sale, another day plants are on sale, another day maybe Dean and I give a talk or just hang out. Maybe another day is something else. Because the store will be 3x as big, but that's still not big enough to hold an event. Like we might need to rent the jiu-jitsu studio again or something like that. But we don't want to put too many things in motion because we could still run into a lot of roadblocks with actual building. So how can I get my blue car to stop bullying my snails? I'm not sure if that's an easy ask. Do you have any schooling fish that are in there yet? So like some dithers. Australian rainbow fish work pretty good for that. Barbs and stuff like that too. So if they're always going, they don't have time to be like, hey, that snail's moving really slow and it's making me angry. I'm going to go harass it. That's what I would try. Can I post an Aquashella calendar? I could if Aquashella could make a darn calendar. They're like super bad. They might have the event up. They're a new. I want to call them a new company, the owners, and they've got so many things. They're like, did you meet with the fire marshals yet? Did you do this? Did you do that? That oftentimes it's like, wait, the event's in 3 weeks. Did we turn the website live yet? No. Oh my gosh. And so we're trying to push them to get better in those regards because it's so much easier for people to be able to plan. Yeah, and so like we've been trying to really like let us take over the freshwater speaker side. We could at least because that makes my job easier. Like I can tell you because we've bought the tickets for Dean. I bought a ticket for Dean. We bought a ticket for Irene and Zenzo and myself. Like for sure we'll be there, and we know that Dean and Irene are giving talks. But the question would be like, but who else? Who else is giving, those talks? Right? And let me see if I go to the site. Let me see if it says. Because most times they kind of do this thing where, like, it's to be announced. Like, so it's 86 days away. They got a countdown going. Let's see. Featured creators. See, maybe all the. I don't know. I feel like these creators where they say featured creators are the same ones from the last time. So but maybe they're all going. Maybe I don't know, right? Yeah, maybe I don't know. But I still don't see like just because the creator's going to be there. Where's this? Okay, so speakers, yeah. So right now they have. So yeah, they have Katie Tropicals, Jake Adams, Sanjay, and me. We already know for sure that Dean and Irene are also speaking, but they're not on there yet. So that's how I know they haven't. They lag behind a little bit. So it makes it hard as a marketer to be like, yeah, get excited. And they're like, but on the website, when you said stuff was going to happen, like it is, but they're just not updated. So we do have, again, on the forum, we do have a thread going on the forum. People post who's going. Ooh, that would be really cool. I wonder if we could make, like in the member type thing, right? Long term. So you could have like, okay, who's going to Aquashell? And people are like, yeah, I'm going. You can meet each other and that kind of stuff. But what if in that fish trader thing, like, oh, you're going, and set up trades to happen the day of? That'd be pretty cool, I think. So even if you're flying, whether you're flying in or you're driving from 8 hours away, yeah, that could be pretty fun, I think. Please make an early 90s style calendar. we've thought about it. Like Chris Lukup makes really cool calendars for shrimp and stuff, but we haven't done anything like that yet. Only way I could attend Aquashell is if they come to Seattle. We're trying to get them to do a West Coast show. I don't know that I can convince them of Seattle. You get a little mini dose of that of ReefWorks. That does happen in Washington. Usually, I want to say in April. I missed it because I don't know. Maybe I think I was doing something else. Over 400 new members yet? We need over 9,000. That's what we need. Over 9,000. Actually, that'd be a bit much to handle, but let's see. Hey, my thing didn't update, I don't think. Oh, wait, no, it did. Yeah, 422. Thanks for the free membership. The co-op test strips actually helped me today figure out that my API liquid test kit had gone bad. New kit agreed with the test strips. Awesome. So often we catch so much flack because test strips have a bad reputation, and then people are like, yeah, I wouldn't trust the co-op test strips. I would test the liquid test kit. And all I can say is like, I have spent more time than anyone would want to admit testing our test strips to fight against all the backlash we were going to get hit with. And so when people get different results, I'm like, I don't know. I repeated the test here with lab grade solutions and it's correct. Do we think that this $100 lab grade solution and these 6 different independent testing kits from digital and liquid and test strips are wrong? Or is it potentially something's going wrong on the other end of like your water has something crazy in it? And that's usually what's going on. But no, I'm glad, and I recommend everybody get independent sources. Go to your local fish store, have multiple kits. Like, we only need ranges to keep fish in a safer range. It doesn't matter so much as it's 7 or 7.2. That doesn't really matter a whole lot. We just need anything reasonable that we can kind of count on. That's the goal there. So, double check even our stuff just to make sure that you didn't leave it open for 2 weeks and it got too much moisture in there and they're not reading right, or turns out it's been years, all of those kind of stuff, New heaters are steam heaters. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna take it as a good thing, I guess. Yeah, ReefWorks and Fresh Fest is something that may happen in Seattle. Yeah, Zenzo knows. I think we missed a year of it in COVID, and then I missed the last ReefWorks. But yeah, I think with COVID they didn't make it bigger. What they want to do is they want to turn it into ReefWorks and Fresh Fest. It's a 2-day event where I think like one day is Reef and one day is Fresh, and then they want to kind of like do a battle to see who can bring more people, which I will dominate that. I will make it my goal to make sure freshwater wins because I'm team freshwater and I enjoy freshwater. So the more I can convince people to do freshwater stuff, the more I am invested in it. Not steam heater, dream heater. That makes sense. I was hoping for a new use, like you just put it into a pot of water, crank it up, and then you can use it to steam your clothes when you're at Aquashell in the hotel. You never know. Do you think an aquarium co-op business model could be replicated in other industries? I'm sure there are industries that it could work. That being said, I think a lot of industries are crazy competitive. Like, could you take the aquarium co-op model and apply it to a fast food burger chain? Probably not, because there's so much optimization that's gone on already there that it would be hard, I think. But could you take it to industries and I can't think of any right now, but would be archaic? I think you could. I do think there's room for a big shakeup in the like movie industry, as in like going to a theater and that whole experience and what you could do and value added and that kind of stuff. Like, I mean, for the most part, what would it take to get some celebrities to an actual theater, right? Like, and it wouldn't have to be the biggest celebrities on the planet, like, 'cause that would be very expensive, right? But what if you could just get like even local celebrities. Like every state's going to have local celebrities that are on TV and that kind of stuff. Like doing more to build a community around your movie theater would do a lot for them instead of, this is the place where I go and I buy, soda for $7 billion. And I know people don't make money on the ticket for the movie. But what if we found a way to make it more of an experience? Like, I really think the better seats is a good move. I think better food is a good move. Do you like? I would think like, oh, do you try and offer childcare? Like, oh yeah, so it's now a date night thing. The kid goes over here. You paid your $50 for that kid or whatever, and it's gonna watch Frozen and other movies with other kids with parental supervision. So they're in the kid movie theater. The parents are over here. They're having a nice dinner, and yeah, it costs more money, but it's probably a more profitable model. There probably is industries in which you could do some shakeups, but I do think there's a lot where it's like it would be pretty hard to pull that off, especially if there's lots of regulations and stuff. I would think, which I'm sure there's plenty of regulations in that industry too that I just don't know about. Is the style of heater you guys created better than the traditional glass style heater? I hesitate to say our products are necessarily better than other people's products because that's the first way to get people to be like, "Nuh-uh, you dumb." And so I usually try and pivot the question and go, "Well, here's what I like about it, and maybe you will too." And so I like the compactness of it. I like that it comes with a built-in heater guard. I like the fact that it's not 300 watts, so it's going to take longer to overheat and cook itself to death. I like the longer cord. I like that you get replacement suction cups. I like that it remained cheap. I like that I've tested it a bunch. But at the end of the day, think of it like maybe a car or something, or maybe it's like a tire for a car. Like, is that tire really going to be that much better than every other tire on the market? Probably not. Like, there's at a certain point, you've got like, well, this tire was $400. This tire is $40. Usually there is quality differences, but, could you say like, oh, I've made the best tire for $27? Yeah, probably. But that, this heater at $27, which it's on sale right now, but it's not going to beat a heater that's $150, for instance, if they've done their job right. So do I think this is probably the best heater in the sub $30 category? Yeah, probably. That being said, nothing's ever going to be perfect. You manufacture, 10,000 widgets of anything. You're going to have some error rate. The goal would be, though, that with all of our products, I'm open about this, is we maintain a 5% or less failure rate. And that might sound like a lot, and I would tell you, like, there's a lot of products we won't sell because it's way higher than that. Because there's a way to make money where you just manufacture something. If you manufacture and it costs $1 and you sell it for $5 and 50% of them go bad, you're still making money, right? Now that's an extreme example, and that doesn't factor in shipping, and maybe it would, maybe you're buying it from a retail store, you're not the problem. How about why not use the traditional glass cylinder? So in general, the longer it is, the harder it is for people to fit in. I wanted a heater that fits a 5-gallon, a 10-gallon, a 50-gallon, a 100-gallon. I want it to fit in the backspace because you have a built-in sump. I want it to fit in the sump compartment. I want it to be able to fit in all of the things. And instead, what you see when you look at people's setups is they kind of like jamming them in any way they can. And yeah, I mean, that's mostly it. And without having a guard, they're more likely to break in shipping. So if your question is like, why wouldn't you just sell like the average cheap heater that like Fluval would carry? Oh, because 50% of the time they'll snap before they ever get to the customer. And then they're also expensive to ship, right? So we all know that shipping is not truly free on the internet. And like this box, I can ship cheap because it's not super long. The minute it gets longer, the shipping might double on it. And now this $20-some heater is now a $30-something heater, right? And so I can keep the price lower by keeping it compact. Yeah, I mean, really, at the end of the day, you've got electricity you've got some capacitors, you've got a heating element, and you've got something to control the temperature. Put it in, whether you put it in a titanium sleeve, a quartz sleeve, a glass sleeve, a metal sleeve encased in plastic, or what we've done, you're pretty much just, preparing the same ingredients a different way. Did you make a taco, an enchilada, or a burrito, right? And what's the preference there? That being said, there are some nuances to some of these things, and I think we've removed as much of the guessing game as we can while still making an affordable product. I compared the Co-op test strips against JBL and Sarah liquid test kits, and the results were all within range. The Co-op test strips are the bomb. I tested more in the past 12 months than I have in the last 10 years. That was our goal. Our goal was, let's make something accurate to scientific grade tests that we can do. It passed that test, and then make it as easy and as cheap as we could. And we're taking it another step cheap, by the way. Probably in the next 6 months at some point, I think we have them in production right now. We'll be putting out a 25 test amount. So you will save money you don't save money in that each test strip will be more expensive, but you won't have to buy $17 worth. Maybe you only got to buy, I don't know what the price is, like $8 worth, right? But, if you're only going to test, like let's say you have one tank and you're only going to test once a month, that's going to last you 2 years, right? So we realize that there are going to be people that don't need 200 test strips. But if you got a bunch of tanks, it makes a whole lot of sense. So we want to make it cheap for both people. You got 1 million tanks, let's make that cheap. You only got 1 tank or 2 tanks, let's make that cheap. Yeah. I have the Fluval M series heaters, and I hate how it doesn't show the temp. Yeah, that comes down to you're just a different customer than a different customer, right? So there are people that say they will absolutely hate the fact that light comes out of this thing. I hate how it says the temperature. It distracts me. And then you'll have the next customer go, I hate how it doesn't tell me the temperature. And the reality is they're just two different customers. So if people hate that it shows the temperature, you'll hate this one. If you like that, you'll love it. And too often companies will try to do it all, right? And so you got to know at a certain point, like I'm not a truck guy. I'm just not going to buy a truck. Don't try to make trucks more car-like. Make trucks better for people who like trucks. That's kind of what we do. Like, let's just make, if you want to see the temperature, I like seeing the temperature. I can hide that behind a plant if I need to. I'm going to make the best version of that I can. And if you don't like that, go find the best version that's the opposite of this thing. Can I set up a sponge filter for my FX6 filter? Yes. I don't think we put the video out yet, but there'll be a video coming out very soon that explains kind of how to pull that off. Zenzo did it. So one of the things we did, we bought, I think, over $1,000 worth of hang-on back filters, and Zenzo cataloged what size sponge filter fits what intake and what modification would be needed. We turned that into a blog article that got released, I believe now, that has that kind of matrix to it. So you can go, oh, I have this filter, it needs this. And then Zenzo made 2 videos to go along with that to show you what are the benefits of an intake sponge, and then secondly, how you would adapt it to different types of filters and the way to do that. We have older videos that kind of do that as well. But yeah, we're trying to cover that kind of stuff. So we've invested that time, energy, and money to hopefully make it easier for you guys to make those selections. All right. Is it realistic to think one day you'll be able to send plants to the UK? No. Sending plants and meds, they don't move countries without you owning permits. And I can't imagine you're going to be like, well, I would pay $700 so that I can import 3 plants and then go there at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday night. So I don't think you'll see that happen at all. Yeah, that's right. Cut the test strips in half, double your money. That's right. Double it. You get 400 test strips, or when you get the 25 kit, you'd have 50, right? Yes. Now that your store is expanded, will you add more tanks for breeding at home? No. I'm taking away tanks. I don't have time to breed. So fish will end up at the store, but I'm not adding more to that workload. I'm adding more of what I want to keep and have look cool. And yeah, most of my stuff breeds just because you make a good environment, fish will do that. But I want to enjoy and not so much, like I better go feed the store by breeding more. Most times we find more people to breed like Dean. Have other people do it. Oof. I've got 2 5-inch Severums and a plant at 55. Will they be okay in this tank for life? I've also read they eat plants, but they don't. But they seem to have been leaving them alone for the last 2 weeks. I've seen it work. Sometimes they let Anubias and other stuff live. I think they'd probably snack on the easier ones. Maybe you got a couple of easygoing ones. 55 is right on that line of like I've seen some Severums, I kid you not, that are like this. That being said, I've seen like 2 or 3 that have ever been like that, and most are like this, and that would totally work just fine. Like, I've probably at this size, and they're several years old for people. I might have seen like 1,000 of these. Where this, I've seen like 2 ever, but they were just chunky. They were mind blowing. Like, I honestly wouldn't have thought they could get that big. And I thought when I saw the first one ever, I was like, okay, that's an abnormality. And I saw another one. I was like, okay, well, that must be a thing. Are we gifted memberships? You're dang right we are, Beaka63. If you're on a desktop, you can click that money button and donate some if you'd like. It is not released to have the ability to give them away on mobile yet. You can receive them on mobile, but you can't give them on mobile. I just realized my heaters did not arrive. Did not check out properly. Missed email saying I left them in my cart. Well, yep. So one of the signs, of many signs, by the way, one of the signs that I don't have a good enough work-life balance, too often I leave stuff in the cart like that and I never check out. Things like, I need to order socks and underwear. And then I'm like, where are these? It's been like 3 weeks. Oh, I never finished. There's another button to click. And that's been going on like once a month. I've been running into that. And that's usually a sign of overworking, of like my brain is too many distractions, too much going on to actually finish some of those tasks. So one of the reasons why I need to balance that a little better. There we go, Beaka63 bringing in the big 5. I like it. Let me match that with another 5. Where's the right button? Match that with a 5. Can I do that? It should let me. Boom. Matching it. Can I keep white clouds with tiger barbs? I bet you could. I've never tried it, but I bet that could work. I wouldn't do longfin white clouds. You could do longfin tiger barbs, though. Forgot to hit submit on 2 written assignments. Yeah, I'll do that every once in a while on like a comment too. I'll write someone a comment on YouTube and I come back to my computer like a day later because I've got like a laptop in the living room and I've got the one out in the studio. And I'll be like, oh my gosh, I never hit send on that. Oops. Hopefully they still need that answer. I moved from Renton, Washington to Austin, Texas. And after I moved, I discovered you. Well, that's why I say they're better lucky than good. If you're lucky, you would have found us before. You're not that lucky, so it's got to be good instead. I'm curious how much sales go up this month with a 5% savings being a member. I don't know. Do you guys think you buy more knowing you save 5%? I've always looked at it as if you guys spend $100 every time you spend $100, it's like you get a free month of membership. I always assumed, like in my mind, you don't buy more. Instead, you just get the free perk. That's how I've always approached it. I haven't used it as like, yeah, we're going to make more money by signing people up to do this. Instead, it's been more, let's make it free for them where we can. That's always my goal, is how do we just give back? So maybe Corey needs more EA. I'm watching for that job. EA's executive assistant, is that what that is? Probably. I don't know. I part of the problem is a lot of my work is crazy hands-on. Like if it's shooting a video, I gotta shoot the video. If it's testing the product, yeah, I can let other people test, but I gotta test too. Um, I offload a lot of other stuff though. If that doesn't require like my brain and hands to be on that project, let somebody else do it. So I'm not sure how much is left. Like even feeding me, my wife does it. Like not physically, but she'll make the food. She'll go get the dinner. She'll make the dinner plans, right? She does all of that because if I don't have to, I outsource that of like, yeah, do that. That'd be great. That'd be great if you did that for me. Like my wife handled all the plumbing stuff today. I was like, I got a meeting with YouTube. I got to do other stuff. Like, can you handle it? Like I talked to the guy once 3 weeks ago, and she does. She does a lot of stuff like that. So, my wife Katie is. I guess she's my executive assistant for as much stuff as I can offload, I guess. I absolutely buy more with the discount. I order monthly and make sure that the membership pays for shipping. All right, well then, unintended good consequence. Anyone in New Jersey reach out to get Aquarium Co-op products? Maybe. Is Super Cichlids in New Jersey? We had a bunch of people reach out, but we're slowly onboarding them. We don't want to just be like, yeah, let's take everybody's money and then do a bad job. So it's like you kind of put them in a queue and like, yeah, this week we'll let 2 more people order. We'll walk them through. Do they have questions? What else can we do for them? And then, maybe another week we'll go, okay, a couple more of these. Space Guy says, wait, so if I spend $100, I get a free membership? If you link up your account on the website with YouTube, and it's going to say, hey, you're a member, you'll save 5% of everything you buy on the website. Now, when you do that, since you save 5%, if you spend $100, that's $5. It's $5 to be a member. So it's like you get a free month. I forgot about another benefit. You also get access to Scratch and Dent. So if we had this box and it got like hit on the end and got beat up, and we would sell it at 15% off. Plus, you get another 5% off. And the warranty and everything's all the same. So, also returned lights. If someone buys it and go, I ordered the wrong size, or I don't like the way that looks. You save 15%, and we ship it out. Same warranty, everything. So you can get some more savings too. That's one of the other perks. Wow, Trish buying 20. Thank you so much. Let me see if you'll let me buy 20 after those go through. I really like watching. Ooh, Tatiana, Tyler, Ron, Nomad Star, Donnie Mai. All these people just became members. So hopefully they'll bring new inquisitive questions to the chat. I bought Pogo Stem and Slotus Octopus from you, and it's absolutely massive now. I got way too much going on in that fish room. I got a lot of Pogo going down. I try not to mail order, so I go down to the Aquariumcoop store. I tend to always spend $100 when I visit. Well, make sure they know that you're a member because you get 5% off in the store too. So, are there any good wet pets that can live out their life in a 55-gallon aquarium? Axolotls, I would say, would be a good one. I think blood parrot also fits that category. I think they got a lot of personality. What else can I recommend? I know there's more. What is gonna be like, oh man, they're here? Maybe brackish water, like figure 8 puffer. What else? I know there's gotta be more. I'll have to think on it. May Hazel says, I gifted some memberships in a different community earlier this evening, and they were half price. I just want to ask this happening for you. I don't have that option. Maybe I'll go back and ask, going, hey, where's my half price ones? My guess is they're testing that out to be like, do people buy even more if they're half price? Or is that, I'm sure they're doing lots of A/B testing. They want to know if it's half off, will people buy more? And then they're also going, how many of those people stick around? Because YouTube's here to make money. they have a lot of money being spent just to allow us to live stream right now. Like they're playing commercials and that kind of stuff to make money, but they got to make their money back somehow. So if they're giving a discount and that kind of stuff, it's got to work out at the end. So I don't know. Where can we get your products in the UK? You can't yet, unfortunately. We're hoping either A, we'll find a wholesaler that wants to bring us on, or that we'll just start shipping directly there. One of those two, hopefully. Abel Lopez says, okay, I give up trying to win. What were you trying to win? If it was a free membership, you got it. You got it. James Holbrook, I'm just glad to see you, buddy. Fish question, I've got some aggression in quarantine. 6 new cribensis want to get it on and are going after each other in a 20-gallon. Plenty of hides and line of sights and breaks. Yeah, I think you're just going to run to that. Normally, I kind of go with a pair. My advice, if you were to walk into my store, would probably be, what do you think about just taking a pair over to your main tank and giving those other 4 to some new hobby or some different hobbyists, or giving them back to the store? Because if you're looking to breed them, a pair will do you. If you got 6, you're going to want like a 6-foot aquarium so those pairs can really space out. That's what I would be advising you. So if you tried to buy 6 from my store, I would have talked you out of it. Maybe you would have gone against it anyway, and then I'd be like, well, that's what you get. That's why I tried to talk you out of it. All right. Any tips when you're feeling burnout on hobbies? I went from 0 to 12 tanks in 2020, and now I'm struggling to maintain my own interest. My advice is get out. Go down to 1 or 2. Really slim down. You don't need to get rid of all your equipment, but, the only way to for sure burn out is keep doing stuff you're not enjoying. You might find that, actually 1 or 2, I'm still enjoying that. A lot of times you get surrounded with tanks that didn't work out, or they killed off the ones I did like, or I don't think they're interesting anymore. And you're just caught in the day-to-day doldrum of I got to take care of them. If you just give them back to a pet store, you might find that your passion comes back, and 1 or 2 aquariums might be great for a while. And then you come back years later. You might also go, you know what? Getting rid of those 10, best thing I ever did. A couple more months, I really hate these 2. Get rid of those too. And then maybe you'll come back sometime, maybe you won't. You shouldn't feel like you got to force yourself to enjoy it. That's the definition of not having a hobby. You're forcing yourself to do it. So, yeah. The import tax into the UK will be insane without a wholesaler taking Aquarium Co-op on. There's probably taxes there too. Pretty much taxes get paid, and yeah, that's the next shock that people are going to be they're going to go to order from us, and we'll be shipping it to some random country and be like, how come it's not $6 on your website? How come it costs more? It's the import in that country costs X, and shipping is $72. Just because we can physically get stuff to go places doesn't mean it's going to be insanely cheap. We're going to do everything we can to make it as affordable as possible. But at the end of the day, there are just some logistics of moving something halfway across the world doesn't happen for free. It will have to be more expensive than if you're 10 minutes away. That being said, we're trying to do everything we can to bring those barriers down. And in fact, Canada being the first test, it should cost roughly equivalent. So we're hopeful. Aquariumcoop sweatpants are still on my purchasing bucket list. So far we have no... Wait, that's not true. There was a meeting a few weeks ago where there was a different set of Aquariumcoop sweatpants for a merch drop. That should be happening, I think, next month. The first merch drop where we're going to start doing limited merch drops. So if you like the merch we have now, maybe you want the Murphy hat and other stuff, some of that stuff's going away to make room in the warehouse and might not come back for a long time. So if you want stuff, get it now. And then... we've got some merch coming. I think it's 2 items basically, every 45 or 60 days. And we're only bringing in a limited amount. When they sell out, they're gone forever. So It'd be fun though. I think I'm kind of a sucker for limited stuff. Like I'm not gonna spend big money, but like, oh yeah, that T-shirt, like the red T-shirts we gave away years ago, I still think they're super cool because they were hard to get. And same thing of like if we only launch this next T-shirt, I think one's a T-shirt and one's something else, but I think we only bought like 500 of each. When they're gone, they're just straight up gone. It's not like, oh, we're bringing them back and here's another run. Like, nope, that's it. Because it'll also be cool that if that's not your cup of tea, you're like, great, only another like 45 to 60 days, there'll be a brand new thing that maybe that is your cup of tea. And it allows us to do some stuff that not everyone's going to like. We don't have to pick a winner and buy 10,000 units. Instead, we go, oh, let's do 500. And the people that think that are cool, that's cool, will gobble that up. And everybody else, like, well, great, you didn't have to like it. Getting a wholesaler on board would be a good move. It's only a good move if they're a good wholesaler. Inherently, I believe that wholesalers no longer need to exist in the marketplace. So that's kind of a problem. Like, I actually think if there was just a good, like, imagine there was, and I don't know, maybe there is. I don't know the market enough, but imagine there was Aquarium Co-op like company that existed in the UK. If we just sold our product straight to them and they sold it to you, that's a best case scenario. Me getting it to a wholesaler, if we sell it to them for $1, now they're going to sell it to a store for $1.50 or $2, and then you're going to buy it. So that adds even more to it. Where if we can cut it out and just go, oh, from us to an online retailer or a store, then it keeps prices down. So that would be our preferred thing. Same thing. Our hope is that taxes, like the taxes and tariffs and stuff, they get paid no matter what. So whether we import it or whether we ship it direct to a consumer, they're getting paid. So whether go, oh, it's so dumb, I had to pay $8 in import fees. Like, well, guess what? The wholesaler was going to do it, and then they were going to double that. So you would have ended up paying $16 in wholesale fees. But instead, you're just going, well, the Aquarium Co-op heaters in the UK are $60. Why are they only 27 in America? Yeah, it'll be because of that. So, but a lot of people get all weird when they're like, I shouldn't have to pay the import fees. Like, just like shipping's never free. Someone's paying for it. Whether you feel good about going, oh yeah, it was free, it wasn't free. Like, you paid for it in the product. Flip flops, ooh, that'd be a good one. Although I'm a little picky about flip flops. They got to be. So part of this merch movement is I obviously am a stickler for quality, and we launch almost no new merch because I don't have time to test the merch and make it perfect. So we are contracting a company to do this for us, and they work with Oprah and Snoop Dogg and other famous people, and they're bringing basically stuff that knowingly sells well to us, and then we're going to offer it to you guys just with our spin on it of like, oh, look at this, we've got like a new Murphy logo we're testing out. We've got some Enjoy Nature Daily swag that's going to come out, that kind of stuff, and yeah. So I can't guarantee it's always going to be like tested to the nth degree like these USB cables, because we'll never launch anything if we do that. I've only got so much time in the day to test stuff. So yeah. Waiting for the Aquarium Co-op swimwear. I guess it has been a long time now, but at one time we were talking to someone who supplied Targets and stuff about making a line of clothing. And it was stuff like swim trunks and that kind of stuff, because it really made sense. Like, oh, your people are going to like nature. They're going to get out in the water. Why aren't you offering them, shorts and swim trunks and bathing suits and things like that? And we're like, because we're not a clothing company. That's why we're not good at that. And so we know for a long time that we need to do more. It's just I'm a guy, I literally wear this same gray shirt. I have 30 of them now, or 20 of them or something. I'm a guy that like, let me just buy what it's going to be fine and then just wear that, because I don't want to think about what am I wearing today. Instead, I want to think about how do I make this USB cable better. Like I take as many decisions out of my life as I can. Yes to the flippy floppies. Although be careful, if we make the perfect flip flop, I'm retiring. My personal Instagram account that I've totally abandoned, by the way, was flip flop retirement. I basically abandoned all social media, so don't be offended if I don't reply, because I don't have time, and I don't enjoy seeing people duke it out over every social and political issue. It's not that I don't care; it's that I would rather have that conversation in the privacy of my friends in a face-to-face conversation instead of watching people just scream at each other through the internet. I got internet. I can do so much cooler stuff on the internet. I'll do that. Ropefish in a 55-gallon, a tight-fitting lid should work out just fine. Would it be financially beneficial to purchase a property in other countries to store and distribute your product from? I don't know. I don't know the logistics on that. Denelay does something like that, and Sarah does something like that. But we haven't run numbers to see what does that look like. We also don't know how strong our markets are in those countries. Just like, Denelay and Sarah basically failed pretty dang hard in America so far. Ooh, have you guys gone? So it's about time for me to wrap this up because it's been 2 hours. So I'll leave you with this. I'm going to buy a few more memberships, 20 more for the road. But someone find the latest, maybe I'll find it, but the API channel, API like the brand has a YouTube channel, and they made the worst commercials in my opinion. It's just like the worst kind of marketing to buy. To like, they'll probably get someone who's never kept an aquarium before, but they're not getting Aquarius. And they made the same commercial in 3 different ways and are marketing it to USA, UK, and Australia, I think. And they just dubbed over the voice, and it's hilarious. It just like that total like, oh, you're missing the mark. And so they made those commercials, and they're paying to get the views, and you can know that because they're not getting any comments really. And so I just shake my head and go, how many times have I tried to prove to you guys that we could market like 1,000 times better than what you're doing? And they don't get it. They're still just throwing money down a pit of like, you're buying millions of views on these commercials that I don't think are converting that well for you. And it's funny to watch. Watch like watch whatever your native country is, like whether it's U.S. or UK or Australia first. Maybe watch America first, USA, because then I feel like they did a terrible job dubbing over for the other accents. Like, I mean, I'll listen to people from and it's like, this doesn't sound like that. I'm not sure you guys did very good with that. And yeah, so I don't get it. They have the ability to partner, like, so they're partnering with like MD Fish Tanks and other people. Like, double down with actual hobbyists, not so much this corporate, like, I don't know. Find a way to get a hobbyist to speak about your product because they'll know it, as opposed to like just the most cursory, like, let API guide you through the magical world of aquariums. It's just like, oh, geez. Yep. You partner with API and you'll find success in nature. Like, oh, will ya? Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, now that I've gotten myself in trouble with API, which, I don't care. I'm going to call it a day. Thank you for everybody that donated memberships. Thank you to everybody that is a member. Thank you to everybody that just hangs out and watches. I'm sure down the road, more live streams will happen, more memberships will get given away. And remember, they're based on like watch time. So if you're hoping to get a free one, that's the way it'll most likely be given out when we do it. Like, we don't get to choose. I assume it'll keep working that way. And hopefully everyone that became a member, like, I don't know, we get 500 of you. How many do we get of you guys and girls? 493. So almost 500. Hopefully some of you will stick around and you'll go, oh yeah, all right, this is what it's about. That's the goal here. And if that works, we'll be able to get more and more people to hang out. But yes, after this, go watch those API commercials that you saw here in the chat. They are, you know, I'm not a guy that uses the word cringy lightly, but man, are they cringy. I'm just like, oof. Like, how much resources? What team of people made this happen? And someone signed off that this was a good idea? Wow, okay. Like, we're not in the 90s anymore, but hey, Um, yeah. Thanks for hanging out. My water's back on, so I can go use the bathroom and I can go check on the fish. I also got to feed them, that kind of stuff. And thanks for hanging out. Honestly, it was a good time. And if you guys are members, I'll try and answer some of your comments. But now there's so many, I don't know if I can get to all yet. So we'll see you later. I wonder if I can click the button on this one now. They've changed the software that I used to use, so maybe it'll be good. We'll hit the end stream button here and see if it ends it there. Otherwise, it might freak out.